How wealthy were Russians in 1917?
Well, here's a fun fact for you.
In 1917, the Russian Empire had more billionaires than any other country in the world. That's because Russia was the largest country by landmass, but also because it was one of the most unequal countries in the world.
The richest 1% of Russians controlled 42% of all the wealth in the country, and the gap between the rich and the poor was actually much larger in Russia than it was in the United States. There were 83 Russian billionaires in 1917, and their total wealth adjusted to inflation would be way over $600 billion.
And that's just the billionaires. There were also many millionaires. In fact, there were so many Russian millionaires that if you adjusted their wealth to inflation, they would have more purchasing power than the entire GDP of the United Kingdom. So how did all this wealth get distributed?
Well, not very evenly, to put it mildly.
The royal family, for example, owned $22 billion worth of property, while the average Russian peasant earned about $800 per year.
So what does this tell us?
Well, it tells us that even though Russia was one of the poorest countries in the world in 1917, it was also one of the most unequal countries in the world.